Alright, just a quick garden update. So I already filled my skinny garden bed with soil. So the bottom of the garden bed is our leaves, dried leaves, and then I fill it up with soil. Yep. Peppers. I also transplanted some of the sweet potato slips. I just buried it there, so it's in-ground planting. And here we have peanuts. They are looking really happy. Nice. And of course, we have potatoes. Potatoes, they're growing really nice. And of course, our 12 kinds of beans. If you haven't watched better videos, you should check it out because these babies started from a store-bought Cajun beans. And then I just sorted it and then planted it, and now I can actually eat some. Ooh, look at this one. This one's pretty big. Wow, what kind of beans is this one? It's a small red beans, but actually you can eat it. I'm so look at my hands, it's so filthy, but oh my gosh, look at that. It's actually turning. Where is it? Look at that. OMG. Okay, I'm gonna try it, guys. Oh my god. It's so good. Ugh. It's so sweet. It's like eating peanuts almost. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Wow. I guess I'm gonna sit here for a little bit. Actually, you can also eat the pod. Mm. Wow. These beans are so sweet. Wow. Okay, let's look for different beans. So we have this one is red kidney beans. So it goes all the way here. So these are bush beans. So oh my gosh, this one's so big. Okay, try this one. Mmm, yum. Yeah, I just eat it straight from the garden. Wow, this is so good. Mm. Okay, moving on to the next plant. So I transplanted some peanuts over here because it's kind of crowded in the first garden bed. So I moved some here and I moved some in front of our house. Right here, we still have like different kinds of beans, and here we have um, this is probably another red beans, and here, because this one I forgot to label, but I'm pretty sure it's a red kidney bean, and this is green beans, green beans, green beans. So it's vining green beans, and green beans and corn, they are actually good companion plants. So you can see they are thriving next to the corn. And speaking of corn, look at the corn. So I hand pollinated it yesterday, but I have to do more hand pollination because I see that this one is ready to be pollinated. And also, I think I saw, yeah, that one. That one is also ready to be hand pollinated. Yep. And ooh, look at our green onions. So I like using green onions um, for my food. Actually, different kinds of food. I use green onions. Um, yes. So as you can see, this is where I cut it, and now they're growing more. And it looks like this one is going to bolt, which means it's going to flower. Then I can harvest seeds. All right, so another type of beans here is actually mung bean. So this is mung beans that I just spread long time ago, and they are growing really nice. Wow. All right, and oh, I forgot to mention, I also planted. Um, I think this is cabbage. If not, it's from brassica family. So if this is not cabbage, it could be broccoli. So I have a couple of broccolis spread around the garden. So yeah. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let's go back to onions. Because I planted onion from the store. It kind of, ooh, that's so crispy. So these onion, I get this from the store. And you know, sometimes they start to grow from your counter. So I just planted it over here, and now look how big this onion. Oh wow, it's like so thick and it's so long. Oh my gosh, this is probably like what, 2 feet? Or yeah, my goodness, so big. And all right, let's move on to the tour. All right over here we have cucumbers. So the cucumbers, just make sure that you remove flowers when they are still really young, like this one. So you don't want it to flower at this early stage because you want to focus their energy to growing, like getting longer and hopefully, you know, climbing to this trellis. And same thing here. So right here, um, the cucumbers, oh my gosh, look at the tendrils. They are already hugging the trellis, which is really nice because, alright, so sometimes you gotta help them, help them find or help them climb the trellis. Alright, and then they will just do it on their own naturally. Alright, here I have sayote or chayote, I think in Mexico. And going to the next garden bed, we have, of course, we have carrots. Look at this. So this one looks so bushy. The reason why is because this is from the store-bought carrot. So that the head of the carrot, and I just planted it here, and it sprouted. Awesome. And my gosh, it's so hot right now in Texas. All right, so here we have radish. Look at that radish. And we have beets over here. Nice. So I don't know if you've seen my shorts videos, but I think a bunny attacked this garden bed and um, bit the water dripping irrigation system that I have here. So now I don't have it because look at that, they damaged the dripping system. So yeah, And over here we have tatsoi and pak choi. So pak choi has lighter stems like this one, and tatsoi has greener stem just like this one. And I try to cover it with this, but like 2 days ago there was hail, and look at that, crazy. So I'm just letting this bolt um, and wait until it dried before I can remove the plant. So from time to time I harvest some leaves, just to eat and cook, to, to just to cook and eat. And let's see. So if you see your plant bolting or producing flowers, you have the choice to just harvest the plant or let it be. So the flower looks like this, and then the seeds, you will harvest it from this um, stem right here. So you can see there's like round shapes inside. That's the seeds. All right, so moving on, we have endive. So this is a very prolific type of lettuce, and wow, look at how beautiful this lettuce are. These are amazing. So it's actually ready to harvest. What I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna pull the entire plant. Instead, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pinch the side of the lettuce and then harvest it just like that. And I have a different lettuce over here. Yep, looking great. And over here we have green peas. So when I first transplanted this green peas, it doesn't really look good. So I planted more green peas just in case. And they are now looking really healthy. Nice. All right, so let's move on to this side. So I also planted a different kind of lettuce over here. This is curled. Let me see, crest curled greens. Yeah, so this is the crest curled greens. Nice, they're looking good, and a very healthy carrot over here. That's nice. All right, let's move on to the next garden bed. So if you watch some of my shorts videos, I shared with you guys that some of my onions are not really looking great. Maybe it's because of too much heat here in Texas, but also maybe because of the mint growing alongside here. I also uploaded a video yesterday on how to get rid of this, and if you watched it, you will see that it was really green yesterday, this mint. Then I made a concoction to kill weeds, and that's what I use for this. And I see that there's something going on. It looks like it's actually dying. That's really awesome. So if you're wondering, or maybe thinking that, like, why did you kill your mint? Mint grow like crazy, guys. And I still have a lot of mints. Like, right there, there's mints. And behind this, there's also mints. And they grow like crazy. I'm telling you. They're like cockroaches. They don't die. Alright, so right here, we have onions, 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 the first line. And then I also transplanted here the bottom of the celery from the store. So if you watch some of my shorts, you know what celery I'm talking about. And here we have tomatoes. They are still looking small, but hey, there's actually some growth happened here. Like this one is looking healthy and bigger, and so is the rest. So bunch of bunch of tomatoes that are volunteer tomatoes that grew from that garden bed, and I just transplanted over here. And another thing that is growing here in this garden bed are some brassicas. So that small one, I know it doesn't really look much, but there are broccolis growing here. And cantaloupe. That one is cantaloupe. This one is cabbage from the. I'm just experimenting with some other crops that I planted in my garden. So, if you're wondering what these are garbanzos. Okay, so these are the first garbanzos that I planted with my 12 kinds of beans. And then I transplanted here, but they suffered from transplant shock. So just in case, again, just in case, it's always good to plant more plants just in case the first plant doesn't survive. So I planted more garbanzo and they are looking healthy. Look at this and this. So in between the old garbanzos, there are new garbanzos growing that I planted. All right, here these are the sweet potato slips that I planted that I grew from store-bought sweet potato. Then I transplanted over there, and more here. So, all right, these are the ginger that I also featured in some of my short videos, and I transplanted here, and they're looking good. And oh, I removed the spinach from here because I transplanted it to my greens garden bed, which consists of the pak choy, tatsoy, and lettuces. Here we have a volunteer potato. Yeah, it just grew here, so I'm just gonna let it be. And this is pepper, and here we have a whole bunch of cilantro. They're looking healthy. So I made a compost bin over here. So I tried to mulch some of the leaves so it will be decomposed faster than just, just piling a bunch of leaves. So I also use these leaves for my grow bags and garden beds. So I put the dried leaves at the bottom of every container that I have, including the skinny container right over here. And so I just transplanted these tomatoes. Most of these tomatoes are actually um, volunteer tomatoes, and I don't want to kill those little tomatoes, so I transplanted it over here. And these little tomatoes right there, these are gold cherry. So this is another experiment because I still have some gold cherry in my seed tray. And of course, the magnificent fig. So this is a called the Dom Blanc, and they're very prolific. So Golden Blanc has this feature like this neck growing there, and once it's ripe, it will actually turn into yellow green, and the inside is pink or deep pink, and it's really sweet and delicious. And the leaves looks like this. So a lot of figs kind of look alike, but there's some differences. Sometimes it's really hard to identify the type of figs, but I did my research and I'm pretty sure this is a Coladam Blanc. And in Coladam varieties, there are actually different kinds. If you're into figs, You know how hard it is to figure out the varieties, but once you did all your research and um, you know comparisons between figs, you will know the difference, and hopefully you'll figure out what kind of figs you have. Yep, looking great. So it's very prolific, and this kind of fig grows so fast and crazy. Look at that. Abundance. So nice. All right. So let's move on to our flowers. All right. So I still don't know what type of rose um, I have, but they are looking really good. So by the way, I spread some beans in this garden bed. I know it doesn't look that good. Once I have more time to clean the garden, I will do it. So that's why there's some beans growing there. That's a beans. So yeah. All right. Let's move on to our figs and moringa. So I just transplanted this. Don't judge me for for the look of this moringas. So I just transplanted it, and it still needs a little bit more time to actually settle to its new container, but I am positive that it will be alright. And as for the figs that I propagated from the mother fig that I showed you earlier, they are looking great. And I already sold a few of these propagated figs. And these figs will more likely to produce fruit next year. So yeah, because most of the figs that came from a matured fig will have um, will have fruit um, faster than the ones than the ones that were came from a young fig plant. Right. So this is the other skinny garden bed that I made from palette. So it's free. I fill it up with some dry leaves in the bottom and the topsoil on top. So yeah, this is my suburban um, garden. I'm here in Texas. It's so hot, and the weather sometimes is unpredictable. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot. I have calamansi. So as you all know, I am a Filipina living in Texas. If you want me to speak in Filipino, just let me know. And the next time I'll make a video, I will do it in Filipino. But yeah. And this one, I got this from the store. It was just looking so so dead. Like there's no leaves whatsoever when I first got this from the store. Now it's actually producing leaves, which is a good sign. Nice. All right, and some mangoes that these mangoes are just volunteer mangoes from my garden bed, so I just transplanted it there. And right here, I have never showed you this setup before. Uh, I'll, I'll show you this setup very soon, okay? Like right after I showed you all my plants. Okay, so right here I have cantaloupe and some brassicas. Some of these are again broccoli or cabbage. All right, and in my small tower, I have different lettuce. So again, don't judge me. It doesn't look anything crazy or lush or whatever. I transplanted it really young. Just again, it's more like experiment. But my other lettuce grew so big, even though I transplanted it this small before. So yeah, we have different kinds of lettuce here. Um, see, oh, I even have arugula, crest curled. I'm pretty sure I also have romaine somewhere here. Yeah, the wind knocked this down. That's why I kind of get mixed up and my labels are gone. All right, next stop is basil. Oh my gosh, look at this basil. So, this basil is very resilient. When the temperature dropped, it still survived. Although some doesn't really look good, but you can see how healthy some of the basils and some, just like this one, are not looking great. Okay, here, so you can see I even use the egg tray to germinate my peppers. And guess what? It worked. And look at this. Isn't that awesome? I have a lot of sweet peppers, a lot of different kinds of peppers. That's another experiment, and I really wanted to try different colors. So I've got red, orange, yellow, purple, green, different kinds of peppers. And over here, I have some water spinach. I need to transplant this. And golden cherry tomatoes. Nice. Purple bell peppers and yellow peppers. Yeah, I know. I know I have a lot of seedlings, and you might be wondering how many people are eating this. There's only me and my husband. So over here, I have more basils. These are sweet basils. And this, um, actually, these are volunteer pomegranates from a garden bed that I transplanted to this 4-inch pots. And here we have more cucumbers. These are cucumbers, nice. And right here we have more greens. These are lettuces and more peppers. Never ending peppers. I told you guys, no seeds or seedling will be left behind. So everything. And I have some rosemary growing here. They are surviving. Barely surviving. Alright. And of course, we have potato or potato. So this is a purple potato that I also got from the grocery, and I just planted here, and now it's actually growing. I'm excited. And what else am I gonna show you? Ooh, all right. I guess my mess. Okay. So here in Texas, the the ground, or like the soil, is not really workable at all. Like, it's not as healthy as, the soil from Connecticut or other part of the US. When you dig, you will just find a lot of rocks. So that's why we made garden beds. There you go. And I bought a lot of soil. Yeah. All right. So again, thank you for watching, and please subscribe and follow this channel. Thank you guys. So hot.